Blessed be everybody. It's the Zen Witch here with another unboxing video, unboxing the tarot, and today we are looking at, my producer's slow. My producer's also me. Today we're going to look at the Pocket Goddess Tarot by Kris Waldherr. Now this obviously, since it's called the Pocket Goddess, there is a full-size version of this deck, but I got the mini. It's like the only mini deck I have. So Pocket Goddess, this is published by US Games, created by Kris Waldherr, as it says on the side. And here it says, as rich in symbolism as it is in beauty, the 78-card Pocket Goddess Tarot deck is an instrument for personal growth and an essential tool of empowerment and transformation for women everywhere. And on the back is the number 2 card, which is Saraswati, and she stands for wisdom. So let's get in. Standard box, all taped up because it's mine. And standard little white book, smaller than the ordinary little white book. So we'll look at that second. And we have a title card here, which I will read to you, unless it gets boring, and then I'll stop reading it to you. Now available in a convenient pocket size, the Goddess Tarot is a celebration of the divine feminine, drawing its inspiration from the many goddesses honored throughout history and all over the globe. Award-winning author and artist Kris Waldherr has created an essential tool of empowerment and transformation. Waldherr is also known for her best-selling book, see, K-R-I-S, I don't know why I assumed that was a man. Waldherr, W-A-L-D-H-E-R-R. I guess I was thinking it was very German, and so that was the name. So, known for her best-selling book, The Book of Goddesses, from which some of the art in the Goddess Tarot has been taken. The Goddess Tarot uses goddess stories and images to update traditional Tarot symbolism, addressing women's contemporary needs as well as a mythic past. The deck's 78 lushly illustrated cards are divided into major and minor arcana. Arcana is plural. It's arcanum for singular. Grammar police. With 4 suits within the minor arcana. Suits are related to a particular goddess and the path suggested by her story, giving each suit... Okay, wait a minute. Suits are related to a particular goddess and the path suggested by her story. All right. Giving each suit a potent resonance. Cups are associated with Venus, the Roman goddess of love. Swords with Isis, the great Egyptian goddess who represents the journey of loss and redemption. Pentacles with Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess of prosperity, and staves with Freya, the Norse goddess of creativity and beauty. As rich in symbolism as it is in beauty, the Goddess Tarot is an instrument for personal growth and the reclamation of the divine feminine. Here are the card backs. So just kind of a pretty golden grid with a, just a little petally kind of design. Wait, I'm scooting in a little bit. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Now, so we start at the beginning with the 0 card of beginnings, which is Tara. And you may know by watching other videos that I do dance practice of the Tibetan goddess Tara. I also do a mantra practice to her. She is called the mother of the Buddhas. She's like the mother of, she's the all-mother. So I love that she represents the beginning card in this deck. Then we have Isis, magic. Wisdom, Saraswati. I'm not going to take time kind of trying to correspond to these to the regular Tarot symbolism. We're just going to take it on its own merits here. 3 is fertility. Estsanatlehi. Estsanatlehi? Estsanatlehi. Okay, obviously Central American. That sounds like, Aztec or Mayan, something like that. I'm going to take a quick look and see what it says. Navajo. She's Navajo, so it is not Central American. This is North American. Navajo corn goddess. Okay, just learned something there. Power is Freya. Tradition is Juno. So it's interesting that Freya shows up in the major arcana, but she also has a whole suit. So we'll see how that happens when we get there. Tradition, the 5 card, is Juno. So you also notice that we can't really go through the standard tarot iconography with these, because the 4 card would be the Emperor. And obviously these are all goddesses. So this is, the Emperor card is power, and that's Freya. Juno is tradition. Venus is love, number 6. See if I can get these a little bit closer for you. 7 is movement, which is Rhiannon. Justice, Athena. Chango, from the Yoruba tradition, is contemplation. She doesn't really look African, and I wish she looked more African. Fortune is Lakshmi. Strength is Oya, another Yoruban goddess. Sacrifice is Kuan Yin. Transformation is Ukimochi, from Shinto tradition. Balance is Yamana. So Yamaya, Yamanja, you'll see it spelled I-E-M-A-N-J-A, Yamanya, Yamanja. Yamaya, this one says Yamana, African as well. Temptation is Nyai Loro Kidul. Okay, I need to find out who she is. And I've had this deck for a long time, probably 10 years. But having so many and using so few, I forget. And when I get ready to do these, I don't necessarily go through and pre-study them for you. So it's kind of a fresh take on the deck, although I may, in the future, who knows. This is Pacific Ocean. And that's all it says, is within the green waves of the Pacific Ocean resides the seductive mermaid goddess Nya Loro Kedul. So it does not tell us what that language is, but it certainly leaves us things that we can look up. Oppression is the Wawalak. That sounds like it might be Aboriginal. During the dream time, yes. The Wawalak are sister goddesses, swallowed whole by Yurlungur, the great rainbow serpent. Okay. The star is Inanna. The moon is Diana. And okay, interesting that, so Ukimochi is transformation, Yamanya is balance, Nailoro Kidul is temptation, the Wawalak is oppression, and then suddenly we get into the standard major arcana titles. Inanna is the star, Diana is the moon, Diana. The Zorya, which is a triple goddess, are the sun. Guinevere is judgment, and Gaia is the world. So it is interesting that they completely stay away, except for Oya is strength, Lakshmi fortune, Chango contemplation, Athena justice. So Athena, Rhiannon is movement, tradition, love. So the lovers, the chariot, justice, and fortune obviously would be wheel of fortune. Strength would be Oyas, but then we have sacrifice, transformation, balance, temptation, obviously the devil, and then at the end we kind of suddenly go into major arcana. So interesting choices. Then we have the cups, and it's said that the cups are the story of Venus. So cups, and we don't have keywords on these, we just have images. 3, 4. These do have, stay pretty close to the standard imagery. No children showing up on the 6 of Cups, though. 7, talking about lots of choices or daydreaming options. 8 of Cups, walking away. 9 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. Then we have the Prince, the Princess, the King, and the Queen. So we do have the goddess as dominant You know, the culmination are the female cards. All right. Staves, which are Freya. So this is Freya's story, which I don't know well enough to relate to you going through these cards, but I want to show you the images. That's what we're doing here. Four of Wands, five, or staves. They're called staves. Staves being the plural of staff. 6, 7, 8. Very close to the standard imagery. So it looks like we've only really deviated in using goddesses for the whole major arcana and giving them different names. We have the prince, the princess, the king, and the queen. And I am going to do a separate thing on court cards sometimes. Court cards are a pain in the ass for me anyway, and I don't know if any other readers feel that way, because they're kind of slippery. Whether you look at them as strictly meaning this is a particular person and this is what they look like. I mean, first of all, that's problematic, because if you look at the typical things of, I think it's cups, you know, being blonde, or, you know, swords or something, blonde and blue-eyed, and an older person or a younger person, whatever. Sure, people know diverse kinds of people, but it just, you know, physical descriptions like that, I'm not that crazy about. Usually when I'm looking at court cards, let's go through the aces while I'm talking here, or the swords. And swords, again, are pentacles are Lakshmi, swords are Isis. I usually look at them as either, I will read them two ways when court cards show up, that they are attributes of the person themselves or attributes of someone around them that I'm describing. And they'll usually either verify one or the other that they recognize. One thing is that when I do a reading and lots of court cards show up, or like two of them in a category, two or even three, it just indicates that the person is not, you know, like a free agent, that they've got a lot of people around them with a lot of opinions about what's going on. Sometimes when a lot of people show up in a reading, it's with the message that the person needs to stuff their fingers in their ears and not listen to what people are telling them they should do. They have to weigh the opinions. 10 of Swords. Prince. Princess. King. And Queen. I like the style of these. Yeah, the artwork is really lush and nice, and I kind of wish I had the larger version, because the images are sort of smallish. So this one is Lakshmi, and there she is. And you can see that the artwork does reflect the culture of the goddess that is over that particular suit. 4 of Pentacles, 5. Although interesting seeing people in India out in the snow. 6, 7, 8, 9. The dove is pretty. 10. And of course we have the prince, the princess, the king, and the queen. Lovely. And then this was the other title card that I just used to block the back of the deck there, Pocket Goddess Tarot. So let's take a look at one of these just to see how the meanings go in the book. Let's try a shuffle. It's a short deck, so it's going to be kind of hard. I mean, those don't bend. So shuffling, not that easy. Let's go to but shuffling this way, cut shuffling is very easy because you're not like stretched to the max trying to hold onto the deck. So I kind of like that. They're very sturdy cards. That's nice, but I like to riffle shuffle because it really mixes them. It's said that doing 7 riffle shuffles is like the most thorough mixing of a deck that you can get, whether it's playing cards or tarot cards or whatever. Okay, that's who wants to talk to us, so let's find out. Oh, they may too. Well, we've got 2 that want to talk to us. Let's take these 2. We've got Lakshmi and we've got the 2 of Swords. So I'm glad we've got a major and a minor. Let's see if we can get a closer view of Lakshmi, if it will. Yeah, that works. Look how nice. So Lakshmi and her consort, it seems, are flying on a bird. And she stands for fortune. So Lakshmi says, and under here it says associated with the suit of pentacles. So they do give you a little heads up there. The Hindu goddess of fortune and prosperity, Lakshmi is believed to be attracted to sparkling jewels, which are like the riches she bestows on her favored worshippers. Meanings: the generosity of the universe, the ability to be open to abundance, positive expectations, awareness of beauty and love. The reversed meaning says feeling pessimistic, disappointed, unexpected endings or beginnings. Now see, I would think, considering that it's abundance and awareness of beauty and love and positive expectations. So yes, the feeling pessimistic makes sense there. But I would add that maybe a mindset of lack, of like a poverty mindset, might be the upside down of Lakshmi. Okay, and then the Two of Swords. Okay, and we do have cards in order in the book. So it starts with the Ace and goes up through the King. I have yet to find a book that does it a different way, and some of them do them really weird ways. That explains why they're doing it that different way. So I'm going to read this suit of swords here. So there is a little section at the beginning of each of the suits that talks about the suit itself. The suit of swords, the path of Isis, element, air, and salt. I am interested that salt isn't earth. Corresponds to magic, major arcana card 1. All right. Okay, yes, because that's the Isis card. I get it. The suit of swords is associated with Isis, the Egyptian fertility goddess. Swords symbolize the incisive forces of the intellect. They cut through to refocus the energy grown in the preceding suit of staves. The swords also symbolize the magical ability to transform painful situations into areas of personal growth. That's wonderful. That's a great reframe there. Instead of just conflict, swords being conflict, they point the way to how we can transform conflict into growth. The story of Isis and her consort Osiris illustrates this principle beautifully. Because of Osiris's tragic death, Isis was able to give birth to their son Horus, the most powerful of the Egyptian gods. Like Isis, we can choose how to use our swords. We can turn them against ourselves when we are in pain, or we can transform the situation through knowledge and understanding. Very good message there. So Two of Swords says an impasse is met. Let's take a look. Why do I have so much trouble putting it right below the camera? I don't know. Please focus. Please. Please, just for a second, please. There we go. Thank you. You got to get closer than I thought. Okay. So, an impasse is met. The woman has blindfolded herself so she can better look within. That's interesting. Surrounded by lotuses, water flows behind her, symbolizing the confusing emotions she has rejected for now. That's very interesting. Usually when the blindfold always stands out to me on the 2 and the 8 of Swords. And I look at this card as denoting a little bit of denial or a little bit of just not wanting to look at what's happening. And it's time to take the blindfold off and see what's really there and call it what it is. But this kind of blocking out the outside so you can look inside, that's a really nice positive meaning. Let's rather than denial, it's I'm turning inward for answers. Maybe the blindfold is I'm turning away from those confusing emotions. That's very interesting. Meanings: balance attained, but eventually issues will have to be confronted. Peaceful truce. All right, calling a truce, backing off. Reversed says uncomfortable relationship, over-reliance on intellect, leaving emotions unconsidered, discomfort with the decision that was made. Okay, I can see that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me go through the other suits just for grins and see what they each say. It won't be too long. The suit of cups is the path of Venus. The element is water and the moon. Corresponds to love, major arcana card 6. Venus. The suit of cups is associated with Venus, the Roman goddess of love and beauty. Cups symbolize the fertile, receptive aspect of the divine feminine. Conceived and born of fertile sea herself, Venus is the bringer of joy to gods and humans as well as to the plant world. The cups proffered by Venus are an invitation for us to drink deeply of the magical water of life, love, inspiration, and pleasure. They offer us our first experience of the divine feminine in her purest form. And yes, water should be up front and first when it comes to honoring the goddess. All right, the suit of staves. The path of Freya, element fire, and the sun corresponds to power, major arcana card 4. The suit of staves is related to Freya, the Norse goddess of creativity, fertility, and beauty. Like conduits of the sun's procreative force, staves channel energy to areas where it can encourage growth. Staves bring movement to a reading, much like the movement displayed by Freya as she rides through the sky in her chariot drawn by magical gray cats. What's not to like about that? Pragmatic goddess that she is, Freya is associated with the Aesir, a group of Norse gods and goddesses who came into existence with the Iron Age, when the first tools and weapons were developed with forge and fire. So we're talking about tools and weapons and forges and fires, but that's the staves, not the swords. Watch my fire and air video. And I shan't go into it now. All right, now we need to read Pentacles. Suit of Pentacles is the path of Lakshmi. The element is earth and gold. Okay. So we've got sun, moon, gold, and salt for the 4 elemental things. Interesting. Okay. The suit of Pentacles, maybe her book, you know, she obviously has a book. So perhaps it would be worth going a little bit deeper. The Book of Goddesses. Maybe those go a little bit deeper into some of the things that are just mentioned here. The suit of Pentacles is associated with Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess of fortune and prosperity. Pentacles, as gold and shiny as the sparkling jewels Lakshmi is so fond of, symbolize the riches contained within the earth. The suit of Pentacles can be thought of as the grand harvest that arrives after we master the lessons of the previous 3 suits. So Pentacles come last, as they usually do. Cups water the seed of inspiration planted by the divine feminine, which is the major arcana. Encouraged by the sun's energy, staves are the first growth that sprout vigorously from the earth. So I can see that staves associated with fire. All right, I understand that. Staves are pruned by swords for the sake of strength and growth. Okay. Finally, in the suit of Pentacles, the tree bears fruit so the cycle may start again. That is a very interesting path delineated there, and it makes total sense to me. I could completely accept that within this system. Pentacles tell the story of the bounty of the earth, so often symbolized in many cultures as a generous earth goddess. Lakshmi, the Hindu personification of this fertile, prosperous, and distinctly feminine force, is honored to this day for these very qualities. Okay. So it is a nice deck. I like it. I do want to look up Tara in the beginning, because I know a lot about Tara. And she's beginnings. Tibetans believe that the goddess Tara has the power to heal all sorrows and grant all wishes. Tara is honored as the protectress against the many fears that block men and women from living in happiness and harmony. She is the protectress, yes. In meanings, innocence which protects, new beginnings, optimism, innocent trust. The reverse is folly, carelessness, naivete, lack of focus or direction. I will tell you, Tara has a mudra. She has this at her heart, which protects against fear. She has this mudra pointing out, which means she bestows everything that you need. So that's the wish granting part. And she has her left leg folded in on her cushion and her right leg is out, which says that she's fast. She gets there very quickly. Like before you can even consciously think of her, she's there. That's what they say. So great one to kick it off. So yes, I like this deck a lot. I'm going to block it because it's going back in the box mixed. And yeah, I think I would like to see the size of the larger one, just so it's a little bit easier to riffle shuffle, and only for that reason. Again, I'm always happy when decks focus on the goddess. We see more and more every day with how women are treated, with how the earth has been treated as an extension, you know, or a symbol of the feminine. That it really is time for the feminine divine to reemerge in an empowered form into the global culture, especially in the West. And this deck helps us get there. So I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for sticking around for 25 freaking minutes for me. I didn't realize it was getting that long. Sorry. Like my channel, subscribe to my channel if you do in fact like my channel, and share my stuff, and let me know what you would like to hear about. I always like spending time with you, and I always really, really appreciate that you click that button and listen to my babbling. I really do appreciate you being there. Thank you, everybody. Check out Monday and Friday. If you subscribe, click your notifications every Monday and Friday. You will get a notification for Tarot deck on Monday, Oracle deck on Friday, with some interesting stuff peppered in between. So, again, thanks for sticking around. I'll see you next time. This has been the Zen Witch. Blessed be. This is still the Zen Witch because I clicked the button and it didn't fucking go off. All right, this has been the Zen Witch. Blessed.